My name is Brittany Maynard. I am 29 years old and I am terminally ill. On New Year's Day 2014, to my great shock, I learned I had brain cancer. Despite the efforts of advanced medicine, my cancer is aggressive and currently without any cure. On New Year's Day, I was told I may have a few years to live with a grade 2 astrocytoma. This was a great shock to my family and I. Then post-op from a January craniotomy, my April MRI showed significant enhancement, indicative of a higher grade change. I was told I most likely had 6 months or so to live. My imaging was very indicative of a grade 4 glioblastoma based on MRI interpretations. A GBM4 is the most dangerous form of brain cancer, and my world fell apart. I moved to Oregon shortly after with my family from California because it is one of only 5 states that do authorize the patient a right to a choice with death with dignity. I am heartbroken that I had to leave behind my home, my community, and my friends in California. But I am dying, and I refuse to lose my dignity. I refuse to subject myself and my family to purposeless, prolonged pain and suffering at the hands of an incurable disease. Death with dignity laws authorize the medical practice of aid in dying. They give mentally competent, terminally ill adults the option to request life-ending medication that they can choose to ingest if their dying process becomes unbearable. The freedom of this patient right is choice. Besides Oregon, only 4 other states authorize the medical practice of aid in dying: Washington, Montana, Vermont, and New Mexico. Making aid in dying a crime creates undue hardships and suffering for many people who are terminally ill and suffering tremendously. It limits our options and deprives us of our ability to control how much pain and agony we endure before we pass. People have asked me whether I have explored the medical practice of palliative or terminal sedation. Some claim it is an equally gentle alternative for patients whose symptoms cannot be controlled. The procedure involves drugging the patient into a coma. Nutrition and fluids are then withheld until the person dies from disease or dehydration. No one can tell when that would happen, but each patient is different and deserves the autonomy and freedom to make this most personal choice for themselves. I can't imagine what that experience would be like. I may be minimally conscious, still suffering, and unable to move or speak. That terrifies me. Death with dignity is a much swifter and peaceful way to pass. Logic motivates me to choose this for myself instead. I refuse that procedure because I want to live fully until I die. The rest of my body is young, fit, and retaining fluid, so I would likely hang on for days or even weeks before I died. I don't want that. Also, palliative sedation usually requires hospitalization. I want to be sure my husband and mother are with me when I die. I want to leave this earth in my home, in the arms of my husband and my parents. I cannot change the fact that I am dying, but I am living my final days to the fullest, spending time with family, friends, and in the great outdoors. And I am preparing to experience the best possible death. Achieving some control over my passing is very important to me. Knowing that I can leave this life with dignity allows me to focus on living. It has provided me enormous peace of mind. The inevitability of death is universal. The widespread support and overwhelmingly positive response to my story represents our community is ready to have a new conversation about death. The decision about how I end my dying process should be up to me and my family under a doctor's care. How dare the government make decisions or limit options for terminally ill people like me? Unfortunately, California law prevented me from getting the end-of-life option I deserved. No one should have to leave their home and community for peace of mind, to escape suffering, and to plan for a gentle death. For the vast majority of people, that is not even a remote possibility because of the cost of moving, the inconvenience to family, and the time it takes to change residency status, find new doctors, confirm eligibility, and obtain medication. This must change. Every one of us will die. We should not have to suffer excruciating pain, shame, or a prolonged dying process. The laws in California and 45 other states must change to prevent prolonged, involuntary suffering for all terminally ill Americans. As elected officials, you have the power to make this happen. Please take action. Every terminally ill American deserves the choice to die with dignity. Let the movement begin here, now. Access to this choice lies in your hands. Freedom from prolonged pain and suffering is a most basic human right. Please make death with dignity an American healthcare choice. Thank you.